The Kenworth T880 set-forward front axle hood is susceptible to damage in the strut mounts. Polyvans has designed a kit that can be used to reinforce an unbroken strut mount and prevent damage. This video shows the step-by-step process to install the kit on an unbroken strut mount. First, remove the bolts from the fork attached to the hood. Set the bolts to the side to use later. Heat the fork using a torch to help release it from the hood. Only heat the fork to prevent damage to the fiberglass hood. Once heated, use a tool to pry the fork off the hood and scrape off any adhesive left behind. Clean the fork and the hood with 1001-4 EcoPrep plastic cleaner to remove any leftover adhesive or dirt. Because fiberglass wicks moisture, it is very important to allow the hood to dry completely before doing any other steps. Use a heat lamp on the area for 1 hour to force any moisture from the repair area. Carefully cut out the included paper template. Place the template against the hood and trace around it. Use a Dremel tool and a tungsten carbide carving bit to cut out the inside of the traced area down to the steel plate. Remove the fiberglass piece and scrape off any adhesive left behind. Grind the two rivets down until they are flush with the hood. Clean the aluminum casting with 1001-4 EcoPrep to remove any production oil residue. Using a 13 32-inch drill bit, drill out the threaded holes in the aluminum casting. Due to variances in the hoods, it may be necessary to grind the casting holes to align with the bolt holes in the OEM plate. Test fit the casting to see if the holes match up. If necessary, use a drill press or grinder to widen the holes to match. Check that the OEM bolts will screw into the OEM plate through the casting. Do not use the bolts included in the kit. They are too short and have a different thread pitch. Place the casting on the hood and trace it with a permanent marker. Using a Roloc disc, thoroughly sand the inside of the casting where it will contact the hood. Hand sand any areas missed with the Roloc disc. On the opposite side, sand the surface of the casting where the fork will be bolted on. Sand the fork to remove all traces of the OEM adhesive and fiberglass. Completely sand the hood inside the traced area where the casting will mount. Hand sand any areas missed using the Roloc disc and then hand sand the OEM plate. Bolt the casting onto the hood and mark all the holes in the casting flange. Remove the casting and drill the 3 upper holes using a 5/32 drill bit. Carefully drill a 1/4-inch hole through the hood using gentle pressure and high speed. This will help prevent tear out on the outside of the hood. Using a 3/8-inch drill bit, counterbore the 1/4-inch hole about a 1/4 inch deep to provide clearance for the bolt's shoulder. Place the rubber washer over the elevator bolt and insert it into the hole. Use a hammer to seat the bolt in the hole. Secure the bolt with tape to prevent it from getting knocked out when placing the casting on the inside. Apply a generous amount of thread locker to the 2 OEM bolts that will attach the fork to the casting. Apply a very generous amount of 2510 Plastifix to the inside of the casting. Apply a bead of Plastifix to the edge of the OEM plate. Carefully place the casting onto the hood. Snug the nut onto the elevator bolt and loosely insert the 3 upper screws. Loosely bolt the fork onto the plate, making sure to leave enough room to squeeze some Plastifix between the fork and the casting. Tighten the 3 upper screws. Squeeze the Plastifix under the fork and around the edges of the casting, and then tighten the 2 bolts. Finish tightening the 3 screws and the nut on the elevator bolt. Wipe away any excess Plastifix. Put thread locker or a dab of Plastifix onto the elevator bolt threads. Let the Plastifix cure for 24 hours before installing the hood onto the truck.